I'm ready to get this game going because I'm tired of the bye week. I'm tired of talking about the same shit for 2 weeks, okay?
This one is a must-win for the Chiefs.
Steve, I hate the Broncos.
Of course you do.
I grew up always hating the Broncos, though. A lot of people say the Raiders are their number one hate. The Broncos are my number one hate. Always have been. Yeah. I hate them.
You're listening to All Chiefed Up, the podcast.
Y'all, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. It is Tuesday, November the 11th, and we're facing the Denver Broncos this weekend for a very pivotal divisional rivalry game. It's going to be a good one. It's what some say is a must-win for the Kansas City Chiefs, coming off that loss from Buffalo. Mike, how we doing?
We're good. We're good. But I tell you what, we didn't say podcast for that ass. And that made me a little sad.
Hey, we're back with a podcast for that ass. Let's go. Now we're good to go. Now we're cooking.
Now it feels better. Steve, you know what I'm ready on? I'm ready to get this game going because I'm tired of the bye week. I'm tired of talking about the same shit for 2 weeks, okay?
Man, the bye week's like a mini version of the offseason where you talk about the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And you try to present it in different ways to not bore everyone and their grandmother, but it's impossible. It's a lot of work, and it's very mentally draining.
especially when you're coming off a loss to the Buffalo Bills, who then turned around and got belt to ass by one of the worst teams in football.
Fraud, sir. All we had to do was run the football, and we've talked about that 978 times.
Yeah, and we can't talk about that for the 1,000th time.
Can't do
I
it.
will pull my hair out. What I'm ready for is I'm ready for 4:25 Eastern time. Okay, I'm ready for that on Sunday. I'm ready to tune in and listen to Jim Nance and Tony Romo talk about dumb stuff.
Lord.
I'm sure everybody's going to complain about that. But we're finally going to get to see the Chiefs versus the Broncos. Steve, I hate the Broncos.
Of course you do.
I grew up always hating the Broncos, though. A lot of people say the Raiders are their number one hate. The Broncos are my number one hate. Always have been. Yeah. I hate them.
You've always hated the Broncos more than anybody else. You really have.
Absolutely.
Like, I hate the Raiders and the Donkeys equally, but you, for some reason, absolutely hate the Donkeys.
Because they're a team that always wants to be relevant in the off season. Like, they'll do anything they can to be like the off season winners.
Well, when we were younger, there were several years where we had to watch them beat our ass over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe there's a little bit of extra hatred there. But is there any news going on with that matchup coming up this weekend? Like I said, it's a very critical matchup. This one is a must-win for the Chiefs if they want to take down the AFC West and get to the playoffs easily and smoothly. They got to knock out Denver right here. Actually, Mike, their backs are against the wall. They can't lose hardly at all, let alone to a divisional game. They cannot do it.
No, they got to win this. The Chiefs have to win. It's a must-win, 100%. Can't lose. Denver is dealing with a lot of weird stuff right now. Marvin Mims has missed some games. He missed with concussion the other day versus the Raiders on a Thursday night game, but they said that they expect him to be back versus the Chiefs. There's a good chance.
Imagine
surprise.
Another person that's hurt and magically it's better right before the Chiefs game.
Right. Surprise, surprise. But also, here's another one that just come out today, which would be yesterday when you're listening to this. Their inside linebacker, Alex Singleton, who is one of the best tacklers, best football players on that defense, wrote on X, and he said, check this out. This is mind-blowing to me. He says, I'm just going to read the article from Broncos Wire. I'm sorry. He said, Singleton, 31, was alerted to elevated levels of hormone HCG after a random drug test in a game 2 weeks ago. He then booked an appointment with a urologist, which revealed signs of testicular tumor last Monday. So this was the Monday before they played the Raiders on Thursday night. Singleton then played against the Raiders on Thursday night before undergoing surgery Friday morning to remove a cancerous tumor. This is insane. And then he's going to miss weeks. So he's not going to get to play in the game versus the Chiefs. Look, that sucks. Like, I hate Denver, and I don't like anything about them, but I don't want to see their players get cancer, and I hope this dude heals from this, and I hope he got through it, and I'm glad they caught that early. But it sucks. It's a win for the Chiefs that I have to play versus Alex Singleton in a game where we need to win. But something tells me that this is going to fire the Broncos team up even more to win one for Alex. Like, do you feel like that's going to come?
They're going to pull the Disney Channel, get in the locker room, win one for Alex.
Dude, they already have Quinn Miners on the team. Remember how many years he's cried over trying to beat the Chiefs? Like, this dude was literally publicly sobbing.
Quinn Miners is a weirdo. Not a fan.
But
Not
look,
a fan.
It sucks to hear that about Singleton, though. Like, he's a good football player.
It does.
And, that sucks.
We have our own problems on our side, right? Because we know Isaiah Pacheco's not going to play. Pacheco, as Andy Reid likes to call him.
Why did you call him that?
Pacheco. Come on, man. How are you going to shorten it just taking the O off?
He always calls him, like, everybody always calls him Pacheco, and he's always said Pacheco, though.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to it.
You think he's correct? You think it's how it's really supposed to be said?
I mean,
yeah, either
surely.
way, we're not going to have him, which, that sucks, but we knew it was coming. He's got the sprained MCL. But we also just found out from Andy Reid in a presser that Josh Simmons is back with the team, obviously, in the facilities, but he doesn't know if he's going to start.
Right. Yeah, I think he said that Jalen Moore had done a good job, and they'll just see where they are. So it's kind of like the old Andy Dodge. That whole entire presser, I mean, we reacted live to it. If you want to watch us react live to it, go back and watch yesterday's live stream. It was hilarious. Like, Andy didn't say much of nothing, and they asked him the most asinine questions I've ever heard.
You think Andy would actually answer questions if they asked him any worth freaking answering? Because they asked the dumbest stuff, so, like, he just blows it off. I would too.
He does.
I would too. But no, okay, so if we don't have Josh Simmons, obviously Jalen Moore is going to get the go. I don't know if that's a great thing for the Chiefs, considering that they have Nick Benito over on the edge, who is absolutely killing it. I mean, who would have thought that this guy would be good in the NFL? I have no idea. But he's been killing it, bro. He's a speed rusher from hell. He's got all the bend in the world. He's going to make Patrick Mahomes' life miserable if we don't game plan for him. I think that he's going to get his. He's probably going to get to Mahomes a couple of times. And I'm not saying that Jalen Moore would be bad, but I'm saying Josh Simmons would be better against him because of the fact that he is that speed rusher. Josh Simmons has the footwork. Josh Simmons is better with those types of players. So I'd really like to see him ready to go. And I think that would make me feel a little bit better about it.
Well, here's the thing about that is you have Jalen Moore. He's been starting now for 3-4 weeks. So he actually is in game preparation, game shape. I guess if Josh Simmons hasn't been working out, he's not really, to the fullest of his abilities.
He just quit working out for a month? I doubt that, right?
I mean, it just kind of depends, but I'm just saying, like, if he comes back and he's not fully up to speed just yet, maybe you are better off playing Jalen Moore. You don't want to have a guy half-assing it going against Nick Benito.
I would agree, but like I said in our live stream, if they were to start Josh Simmons, knowing that he's been out for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and he goes in and blanks Nick Benito, then you're going to know you have a dog, son.
That's true.
Like, you got a guy, if that is the scenario and he blanks him, which that's a tall task for anybody. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it develops over the week. I'm sure we'll keep everybody updated on that whole thing. But it is encouraging that he's back with the team in the facility. So eventually, I think things will be where they're supposed to be. Mike, they had a little bit of an update on Jawan Taylor as well, right? So that he was looking a little bit better. Yeah,
he said that Jawan looks fine. He's probably going to play. The thing about this is a big battle of the trenches with Denver. Denver has got a hell of a defense.
Yeah,
and
they do.
Every single player on their defensive line's got a sack. So you got to think about that. So all the way down the board, they've all got sacks. So. They had 5 sacks versus the Raiders the other day on Thursday Night Football. They were the first team. They become the first team through the 10 games of a season to have 45 sacks since the 89 Vikings.
Wah, wah.
like that goes way back. That just shows you how historically good they are at getting after the quarterback. And our offensive line didn't perform all that well versus the Bills.
It was
they really
bad.
didn't.
Patrick Mahomes was under pressure on 52% of his dropbacks against Buffalo's front 4. So,
and we all know that's a problem.
Denver has going on here. That's a little scary.
Right. And we know it's a problem. Andy knows it's a problem. But this is the same problem we've always talked about. You have to make the problem kind of, I don't want to say disappear. It's probably not going to disappear, but you got to make the problem less of a obvious problem by just taking some heat off the pass game with the run game.
We said we wouldn't talk about it. We said we wouldn't talk about it, but good
Logic has
man.
to win.
Logic tells you have to have a balanced offense in the NFL because if you're one-dimensional, you're going to get your ass spanked.
Andy, look at it like a balanced hamburger. Okay? You want good bun to meat ratio. You might want even go down to the burger. What's the What's the good stuff to the fat? The fat brings the flavor. You want 73.27?
Or it's like having like a half-pound burger patty with like one slice of cheese on it.
No,
You don't want that.
At least 2 slices.
Right.
And look, you got to put the toppings on just right. Do you want just sauce on the top bun, or you want it on the bottom bun too? Like, let's look at this. Where's the run game fitted here, Andy? That's not the freaking vegetable part of it, okay? Like,
Yeah,
get
you
it
throw
in.
that lettuce away.
Listen, yeah. The lettuce is like that's the like, get McCole Hardman back. By the way, did you see where the Bills have put McCole Hardman on their practice squad?
Did they really? No, they did. Did they really?
Yeah, right before we got on today.
You know what it is? It's probably a sad attempt to be like, he might know something about the Chiefs so we can get him in the playoffs.
Oh, my God.
Get McDermott in there. They probably. I just imagine like one of those movies where they have like the little interrogation room where there's just like one single light on McCole Hardman and they're like all around him in his face. They're just like, tell us what the secret is.
They're like, we're getting ready to break out the waterboard system if you don't tell us.
They get like a little, like some hedge trimmers or something, and they put it around his pinky, and they're like, tell us now. And they're going to send his pinky to his mother. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's strange. That's a really weird move. They're not, but I mean, to be honest, Buffalo, first of all, beat us, and they beat us pretty good. Like the score didn't even do it justice. I thought they kind of dominated us. We just looked bad, right? But they're not good. They have no offensive weapons. They're total frauds, and we got our ass beat by them, and that's just sad, right? But I think so. Maybe McCole Hardman makes it onto the 53-man roster at some point. We'll see about that. But either way, man, moving on to this Denver game, the Chiefs just have, they have their work cut out for them, dude. They've put themselves in a bad position, and now they're in a position where they need to win every week. And I think that they know this. I think that Andy's had to have drilled it into them. Like it's time to turn on the burners, baby, and get it going. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think he has to do something. Look, there's no more room for error. We have to win going forward, especially divisional games. Look, we can't. If there's one thing about this game, we cannot come out flat.
No.
Because again, I think the Broncos are going to come out very excited to beat the Chiefs. They feel like they're above us right now. They feel like they're finally in the driver's
does
seat.
it anyway.
Exactly. But they're also going to be playing for the guy that just had to pause this whole season for. This is all coming. Yeah. And I'm not taking away nothing for that, because if that were to happen, God forbid, on our team, our players would probably do that too. You want to rally around those. So the Broncos are going to look for everything they can to keep an edge. And the Chiefs can't feed into that. Right. And Andy can't feed into it to deliver a beautiful game plan to them. You can't do that. You also can't come out and be just lackadaisical and not show up. Get it together. Act like this means something, because if you lose, then the playoffs didn't mean shit to you. The Super Bowl didn't mean nothing to you. And you're going to be at home in January and maybe taking an early vacation out to the Pro Bowl or something for the first time in a while, because I don't think you're getting in the playoffs if you were to drop this.
Right.
one.
Do you really want to let all these non-football knowing assholes that's talked trash for like years now have that satisfaction?
No.
Because I don't. I don't want that, and I know y'all don't want that.
No, because none of these people know anything. They've all projected, they've all cried, they've all said the officials do this and this and this and this. But the funny thing is you can say this over and over and over, and after the 7th and 8th year now of doing this, finally it's going to be right, and then they're all going to take their victory laps and act like they were so smart.
Pat, I know you're out there, buddy. You ain't going to let it happen. You ain't going to let that happen. That's bullshit. We're not doing that.
Can we talk about something funny for a second?
Yeah, let's do it.
So on Chiefs Twitter, there's a lot of random people, you got like the new crowd of like, I don't want to say they're bandwagon fans, but like anybody that's out here like hashtag EGE and everything. I mean, come on. These guys have been around since like 2021. They're probably like 14.
I think there's people that have been around longer that are getting in on that, but yeah.
Maybe. I'm just saying, like the majority. Okay. So anyways, there's this dude on there named @Rashid Touchdown, and I'll throw the tweet on here. He says Patrick Mahomes, this is a classic stat, by the way. Patrick Mahomes is 44-9 after the bye week in his career, Steve. So Patrick Mahomes has essentially played football for 53 years.
Time traveling, bro. Look at him.
Patrick Mahomes' old ass got to retire if you've been playing
hanging
for 53
out with Doc.
years.
Doc's been putting him in the damn DeLorean and getting them everywhere, right?
What did he possibly mean by that?
I think he just went crazy for a second, or he could be on drugs or something. I don't know.
Could you think that he took so for example, if Patrick Mahomes had a bye in like week 14 in his first year, he counted every game that year after the bye, and then in week 2, if he had a bye like week 4, he took every game after
went all
that.
the way back to Pee Wee football and was like, Patrick had a bye with the Tyler, Texas.
He's still like 53 years old.
Yeah, I don't know, brother. I don't know what he was doing.
But some people say our content's weird.
Man, I tell you, there's just content for everybody out there, but the best stuff's going to be right here at All Chiefed Up, baby. I'll declare it from the top of a mountain. That's all.
Yeah. People won't. There's a lot of people that won't. Speaking of, can we talk about this for just a minute? Football season is in full swing. We're proud to say that All Chiefed Up has teamed with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you the best ways to get in on the action this NFL season. DraftKings Sportsbook has industry-leading live betting market availability, meaning their odds update dynamically as the game unfolds, keeping you right in the middle of the most relevant storylines in real time. It takes your fan experience to the next level. And when it comes to betting on touchdowns, DraftKings has you covered with all your favorite options, including first touchdown scorer. So make no mistake about it, DraftKings Sportsbook has all your favorite ways to bet touchdowns this NFL season. Get in on the action and sign up using our promo code ACU. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the crowd is yours. This is funny, and I know some people seen it. So our guys at Chief Concerns, Marcus Dash, JD, Tasia, they all had this weird thing during the bye week where Lance from The Spoken has this battle with Carrington Harrison of, I don't even know what he does, 96.5 or something.
He's FM radio, brother.
He's
a
FM
dinosaur.
Radio. Nobody gives a shit about FM radio.
Yeah.
Like if you listen, Steve, when's the last time you've turned on a radio and flipped the FM radio, listen to anything?
Like, I'll tell you what, sometimes, like, just randomly, my phone won't connect automatically to Bluetooth in my car, and the FM radio comes on for 2 seconds, and it pisses me off. Like, I instantly shut the whole thing off until I can get connected. That's how much I don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't either. I have no idea. So I don't even know who Carrington Harrison is. I'm just going to be very, very honest.
I've seen him out there, but I don't really know him.
Look, so, I don't even know. I can't even say his name right.
I thought his name was Carrington Harris. So
me too. Yeah, I could be saying it wrong right now. I don't even know.
Or maybe it's Carring Harrison.
I don't know. But the point is these two fools get on here and talk shit to each other. And
our boy Lance.
And Lance says that he takes his takes and don't give him credit. And then Carrington Harrison, I watched a few minutes of it, and the gist of it, if you haven't watched it. I saw some of it.
Yeah.
The gist of it, if you haven't watched it, was Lance accused him of taking his takes, which I think he's got a decent what's it called? Like a
argument?
Like an argument there for real.
Why did it take you so long to figure that out?
I mean, I didn't want to say an argument because I felt like we expected an argument and we didn't get that. But Carrington's whole thing was he could never take someone's takes because he's on FM radio and he's got a huge audience and he don't know anything about Lance, but he knew everything about Lance.
Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about him, but he came out swinging it like he thinks he is the biggest thing ever. He thinks he's cool,
Look,
right?
I have nothing against the guy. I don't know him. You don't know him.
That was not a good first impression.
But, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, to come out and tell somebody that you showed up and you're not going to take any personal shots and then you proceed to just talk down to somebody over and over and over again shows no respect for the platform he was on.
It's pure disrespect,
Yeah, it was completely disrespectful. And then he goes to shout out. He shout out a few other guys. You know, he'll give them respect. But the reason he'll give them respect basically at the end of the day was because they got a large platform that he can mooch off of, I guess. I don't know what else there was.
Is that how that works, right? No, man, I thought it was pretty weird. I think that the dude was obviously disrespectful. He went on there with one intention and one intention only, and that was to try to humiliate Lance. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to do that by projecting that he was the shit and that Lance was a nobody. You know, that's what he wanted to do. And like you said, I thought it, like, kind of the whole way the whole thing went, it got awkward because it was like he was completely disrespectful to even JD and Marcus Dash. Of course, he didn't say anything like that, but he was always like, "Oh, thanks for having me on." But that was after projecting like, "Hey, I'm better than everything about this," right?
Well, yeah. He also said, "I couldn't have found nothing better to waste my time on." So right, I mean, come on.
Like in summary, though, like I love Lance. Lance is a cool dude. And like I said, I don't really know Carrington Harris or whatever. But I think if you really look at like Chiefs Twitter or Chiefs like I don't even want to call half of them content creators because they're not.
No.
But just like, let's just say Chiefs social media / content creators / FM radio guys / beat writers, whatever. But you have a lot of them that are popular that literally they're popular in the space of Chiefs Kingdom by literally just reposting each other's takes is what they do. Right. And I think that that's where that Carrington Harris comes from with Lance. Lance is like, dude's just using my takes and getting on the radio. And he probably does. He's never going to admit that, but he probably does do it. It's just kind of like, Mike, if it was your 9-to-5 job and you could find an easy way out of it and you didn't want to prepare for that day, you're just going to take the easy way out, right? So if you see something on X, you're just going to talk about that, right? So I'm not holding it against them, but at least admit it. But yeah, the way I see it all in all is if you're just on X, if you're on X and you have 40,000 followers, but all you do is post everybody else's stuff, you're not a content creator. If you hit a go live button and you just talk or you scroll on your phone or hang out or whatever they do, you're not a content creator. If you're a freaking radio guy that was placed there by an entity and made you the talking head of their sports stuff, you're not a content creator.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is like kept taking shots at Lance and saying, look, you only got 6,000 people on Facebook. You got this and this and this. I've got all this. Bro, let me tell you something. He's got like a 5:30 time slot or something on 96.5. And there's no competition there. But just a little Google search of radioinsight.com and looking at the Nielsen ratings for Kansas City, he shouldn't be so talkative because it looks like to me 96.5 The Fan is getting outnumbered by Nielsen by 94.9, a classic hit radio station, a 7.6 ratings from the Fox, a classic rock. He's getting beat by a CHR channel, a Christian radio channel, another news talk, a hot American country channel, and then 96.5 The Fan is cruising at a 4.1 Nielsen rating, which it makes them 7th in the entire city. So I don't know if that's something to brag about either. Right, and so I don't know why these people act like their shit don't stink and everybody else isn't cool enough because they didn't go to college and get a degree in broadcasting or whatever it is. But there's a lot of that around there.
Journalism, get it right.
And we're always on the ass end of it too, because we're not part of the cool club. Because we just do YouTube. We've only got 50,000 people that tune in on YouTube. They treat us
like Voldemort. I don't know if you guys out there watching right now have ever noticed, but other content creators or like those people that Mike's talking about that are not really content creators, but they do Chief stuff, we're like Voldemort. They will not speak our name.
No, because if you speak the name, you give it power, and they don't want to do it.
Yeah, but no, all in all, that was a ridiculous thing. Like I said, I think overall my takeaway from that is FM radio's a dinosaur, bro. Nobody cares. Don't have anything to really say against either of them. I do, however, wish that Lance wouldn't have taken such a high road because I would have busted his ass. Lance should have busted his ass. But, sometimes you don't want to do that. And you have to take the high road, I guess. So shout out Lance for doing that, I suppose.
Oh, I'm sure we're on the shit list now, if we wasn't already.
What shit list?
From all the cool guys there.
Who?
That just all stick together on X and the Carrington Harrisons of the world. You know who it is.
Chiefs Kingdom. You guys, y'all don't watch weird people. Quit listening to weird people. No,
we're the weird ones. At the end of this, somehow we will have been the weird ones. and all the other idiots out here will have been like the awesome ones.
Look, man, I got love for everybody at All Chiefed Up. We can talk trash on anybody, but at the end of the day, man, I love everybody. I don't care. I want to see everybody.
I don't have nothing against nobody.
I want to see everybody do what they want to do, and I want them to be happy. But I do think that there is a big time cool kids table that they don't want to let anybody else eat. You know, he don't have time for you. You're a loser. You're way down there on the.
I'm just a guy with a subpar 50,000 following.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about ridiculous people, I just want to shout out Cole from How About Those Chiefs.
Because what did he do to you?
Hey, look, I tell you, Cole's a stand-up dude. Like I texted Cole the other day. We had an issue with YouTube. I text him. I'm like, hey, brother, do you know anything about this? And he's like, nope, but I'll find out. And he literally sat there and tried to help me out. Went out of his way. Didn't have to. That's the kind of people that we like. Not the people.
We've had that plenty of times. Marcus Dash, JD, both of them. Lance. Yep. None of these dudes, like I said, I can't get with anybody that want to take personal shots at any of these guys because every one of these guys are nice dudes outside of this. We're all just getting up and doing what we love to do. This is America. We decided we all wanted to get up and cover the Chiefs because we love them. And yet you get these people fighting each other, making it a competition. Like we can all be friends. Like there's enough people in the world that we can all share platforms and help each other. But no, you get these dicks.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said that. I'm probably going to get demonetized though.
Nah, you'll be okay, man. We talk about wieners all the time and we're good so far. They might put an age restriction on here.
There doesn't need to be any kind of like that amongst Chiefs fans. Like there really shouldn't be.
Nah.
But there is, and there's a certain group of them that push it, and it just irritates me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's talk about the Chiefs because we're allowed to in America. How about it? Let's do that. Guys, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, do us a favor. Hit that 5 stars. Leave some nice words down there and a review for everybody so they can know where to get some good Chiefs content. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know how you're feeling today. Mike, got a big game coming up, man. So all kinds of drama on the bye week, but we have a game this weekend that's very, very critical. And obviously we're going to be covering this game very, very in depth throughout the week. So if you're listening or watching, get over to YouTube, subscribe because we're going to have all kinds of videos and live streams coming up, man. And I'm just really excited. I said last week I was excited about the Buffalo game because I thought that it was going to be a kind of an indicator on where this team was at because the team was kind of on an uptrend and I felt really good about this team. And I was like, this will kind of show where they're at because Buffalo always plays you tough. They were in Buffalo's house. And you know what? They didn't show me nothing. They showed me that they got beat by a bad team.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that worries me. Now, in the big picture, like I still think this Chiefs lineup, especially in the offense, is the best one in the Patrick Mahomes era. I think that the ceiling's like super high, and I think that they can be special. But the defense worries me slightly. And they didn't go help with the pass rush at the trade deadline, which we've talked about ad nauseum. But we're rolling with what we got, man. And so far, we've seen Spags be less than impressive a few games this season. So how do you think they fare against a Broncos offense that isn't that great, in my opinion? They have their moments like the fourth quarter in the Giants game and stuff like that. But overall, they're not impressive either. So do you think that Spags has any trouble with them this week?
Right. Well, look, here's what I'll say. I think that Spags, he kind of does. He doesn't do it as much as Andy, but he seems to get in his own head a lot. He gets too cute sometimes. But this week, I think the Chiefs are actually a good matchup for that offense. Our defense is a good matchup for their offense. And this is why I say it, because you're going to have Jalen Watson probably going against like Troy Franklin. You're going to have McDuffie lined up versus Cortland Sutton. We know that McDuffie respects Sutton. Now, Sutton will get the best of him a lot, but McDuffie will take this very seriously. Like, he's got Sutton high on his list, and he wants to beat him. So he's going to be competitive. Watson versus Franklin, I think, is a pretty good matchup. And then they've got the kid out of Illinois, Pat Bryant, that they drafted, Pat Bryant. And look, when he come out, he wasn't overly fast. Right, but he wasn't overly fast. He has limitations. And I think that's where if Spag still wants to put Chamari Connor on him a lot, I don't think he runs away from Chamari Connor.
No.
Now, look, I could be completely wrong, but I think Connor could win that matchup a lot of the times. And so I don't know if we see Chamari Connor get beat a bunch. And then that brings us to the tight end. Evan Ingram, I don't know if Evan Ingram is good enough to beat Tranquil and Chenal and Bolton over and over again either.
Evan Ingram's been underperforming massively with the Broncos.
So then when
I
you
thought
look
that
at,
was a good signing for them, and he's not done jack, bro.
Then when you look at the offensive line versus our defensive line, yes, Garrett Bowles has played lights out on the left tackle. I would say Omenihu and Dana are going to be kind of blanked. I really do. But Chris Jones is going up against two guys, Palczewski and Wattenberg, who's not the greatest in the world. They're solid, but they're not great. You're going to have Tillery. You're going to have whoever else, Ashton on the other side, going up against Quinn Miners. I'm sure that's going to be a rougher matchup for them. But Karlaftis versus Mike McGlinchey is a solid win for Karlaftis. Karlaftis should eat versus McGlinchey. McGlinchey's give up, I want to say, 25 pressures this season by himself. So Karlaftis should be able to eat that. And I'm telling you right now, Bo Nix, when pressured, is not a very good quarterback. He's just not. Versus pressure, okay, he is a 55.9 QB rating when he's under pressure, and his big time throw percentage is only a 3.65%, which is not very good at all compared to when he has a clean pocket. He's a 96% passer rating. So you got to put this guy under pressure, and I believe you can do it with a blitz. You don't have to be so. I think that you do need to watch him from getting out of the pocket. I think he's mobile enough that he can get out of the pocket, but I think you play him kind of like you play, say, I don't know. I don't want to say you don't play him like Josh Allen. You don't play him kind of like Russell Wilson either. You kind of play him kind of like Herbert, maybe.
Yeah.
A guy that can run if he needs to, but he's probably going to beat you with Sean Payton's system, and he's going to beat you with like screens and this and that. So I think you just got to get some pressure on him, and I think we could win matchups there on the defense. I really do.
I think it starts with J.K. Dobbins. You have to make sure he doesn't run all over you.
Who the hell is that? Is that a Harry Potter character?
Yeah. But no, he's had a good year. He's doing well. And they also have R.J. Harvey.
Dead serious. Who's J.K. Dobbins? Wait, who's the author of that series?
J.K. Rowling's?
Oh, okay. I knew there was a J.K.
I don't know why you're acting like you don't know who Dobbins is, but Dobbins is having a good year. So I think, you start with the run game, right? But the thing that helps us out is Sean Payton has a bit of Andy Reid-itis, where he doesn't like to run the football.
Yeah.
He'll get in these pass-happy, phases too and just not want to run it. So I think if we could shut down the run game early, he will abandon it. Very similar to Andy Reid in that aspect.
Well, you do got to remember J.K. Dobbins had a foot injury versus the Raiders the other day. So it's not 100% that he's cleared to go yet, I don't think.
Right. But if he is, you keep an eye on that. And then, of course, Harvey's not a pushover. He's a young guy, but, he can do some damage. So
Steve Harvey and Harry Potter back there.
Yeah. Mike, you're showing a lot of disrespect to the Broncos right now.
I don't care. I don't like the Denver Broncos.
I don't care.
Don't care. Don't like them.
I don't like them either. I bet you guys don't like them. Y'all get in the comments. Let us know how much you hate the Broncos, how you're feeling about this matchup. And also hit that like button, subscribe, share this with a friend. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, I'm telling you, leave us a 5-star review. Put some kind words out there.
You guys give this a review. Hit the like button. Share it with a friend. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.